There is only 6 high ticket industries that I would personally recommend you jump into in 2026 if you want to become ultra rich. That's right. If you want to make anything over 200 grand in 2026, these are the 6 that I'm going to share with you in this video. So make sure you stay all the way to the end. You need to hear this because the market changes very quickly in these spaces. And unless you have the proper connections to find the industries that are actually popping off, it doesn't matter how strong someone's brand is. You're in the wrong niche. So that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. Now, the one thing I want to discuss just before we get to the first niche is actually your skill set. Now, if you're watching this right now, don't fool yourself and think, oh, I'm 30 years old or I'm 40 years old and I have no sales experience. Most of these jobs are going for the hungriest and most dedicated salesperson. Getting them through the actual training is pretty simple for the onboarding of the job, but it's actually finding the connection between those hungry salespeople and the business owners that's the hardest part. So that's what I do. I come in and link you up. So if that's what you're interested in and getting linked up with these businesses, click the link down below, apply to join the team where we train and place you guaranteed within 60 days. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first one is the AI implementation space. This is an exploding market, obviously with the launch of lots of the OpenAI, obviously with OpenAI IPOing very soon and SpaceX with its Grok that it just acquired. There is lots and lots of growth in the AI space. Now, what I'm seeing in this industry, and I just looked at the job board for the team here, and we're seeing tons and tons of B2B implementation. So what this would be is on this offer, and we're seeing lots of them, the business owners link you with another business who doesn't know quite how to use AI yet. And you're on the phone with them and you close them on bigger ticket offers. So between $20,000 to $30,000 to implement AI throughout their full process and teach them how to use it within their own business. So we're not changing anything in their business. We're just lowering cost of employees that might not be needed and replacing with systems and processes. This is a huge industry and I think it's going to be around for a while. And I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. And the amount of jobs that I'm seeing right now on the back end is amazing. Tons and tons of positions in this field. So definitely watch out for this one. The next one is an AI trading bot and just trading offers in general. With the stock market, we're seeing a little bit of fluctuations, obviously with the Iran war, but I'm still seeing a lot of offers here with trading, specifically with AI bots, so algorithm trading, showing you how to implement an easier system where AI does all the hard work. They analyze all the charts for you. They find the patterns, and then all you have to do is execute the last little bit. And those are selling like hotcakes right now. So we're seeing a lot of industry growth in that sector. And that's a big point where the top 2 are AI. The other ones aren't, the other 4, I promise. But you have to keep that in mind when you're joining the industry or if you're switching from a different role, that you have to go with the trends. And just before I get to the third one, I'm just going to share with you something very, very important. How to actually find these jobs and these positions. So what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to actually pop over to the Meta ad library so I can show you the easiest way to actually find and locate the business owners who are actually making money so then you can obviously do the same as well. So this is the Meta ads library. If you've never been on here, it's very simple, just Meta ads library. And what we're going to do is we're going to find business owners on Meta who are spending money to generate clients. Now, it's good if they're just doing organic. That's fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But in this day and age, because of how many creators there are, and there are tons, there's so much content, it's hard to stay consistent on just organic social media. You have to use both the ads and organic to be successful. So we're going to switch this to all, and we're going to switch this to all ads. And then let's go to fitness coach. Okay, so we're going to look up fitness coach, and we're going to see what pops up here. So we have core health and fitness, freeletics. So we can see lots and lots of different business coaches. Now, once we find a niche that we want, then we're going to go to YouTube and we're going to look up fitness coaches on YouTube. And we're going to see which one of them are posting content and running ads. Once we do that step, then we're also going to go to Instagram and repeat the same step. They don't necessarily have to be on Instagram as a coach to be successful because Instagram is mostly just boosting ads or boosting posts and getting followers that way. YouTube is a much better way to actually sell high ticket products. But if they're doing all 3, so Instagram, YouTube, and running meta ads, that is a good offer. You guys might know this offer. Let me look it up here. But I used to work for VShred. And my gosh, they had tons and tons of leads. And so you can see this is their ad profile. Very, very simple. At the moment, they're running 320 SKUs, and they've been running these ads, some of them since 2025, October 13th. So for over 6 months. Obviously, this is a bit more of a bigger brand, and it's going to be harder to link up with brands like this. You're looking for small to medium-sized creators who are going to experience lots of growth, so then you could be at the forefront of that. So hopefully that's helpful in actually securing these positions. And as I'm going through the industries, keep that in mind that if you don't want to take my program and get connected with these business owners, then you could do it yourself by doing all the dirty work, going in, finding them, cold DMing them. And I have videos set up on how to do this, but just keep that in mind as I'm going through. The next one is SaaS. So this is industry, obviously it's been around for a while. There is a big company, Oracle, multi-billion dollar company, and they've recently been hiring lots of SDRs and closers. So exactly like what we do. But there's also lots of SaaS companies who don't call them like the traditional high ticket closers, but they'll call them like an account manager, or they'll call them like an executive product specialist or something like that. It essentially means they're just a closer. And so don't get that confused. In the SaaS world, there is a lot of positions that have a really good base salary. So for example, a good base salary would be between like 100 to like 300 grand a year base for a SaaS salesperson. So you wouldn't really be able to ever get a base like that in the coaching world. So even though they're not on the forefront of AI, they are still getting very, very good pay, especially base pay on the SaaS company model. So keep that in mind. These are sometimes bigger companies. And again, you have to have those connections to be able to filter your way into their process. And most of these companies are very, very competitive. These are closers who have worked for coaches and agencies, and they've graduated up to these SaaS companies where they essentially grow their career for the next 10, 15 years. So it's very, very common. Number 4 is business funding offers. Now, business funding offers is very interesting because they still have good ticket items. It's B2B, but most times they're in the range of between like 8 grand to like 20,000, just depending on what you're helping them do. But once they take the program, then most of them help you get 250 to up to 500,000 in business funding. The cool thing about it though is as they're going through the leads process and they're reaching out via ads, they get very qualified leads. Because think about it. If you're a business owner and you're looking to get funding, you have to have a lot of things in order. You have to have strong balance sheet or good personal ability to actually sign off on that credit or back the loan, and you need good income. And so there's a lot of different pieces that you actually need in order just to get on the call with the closer. So I've seen a lot of job postings. And the cool thing about it is that there's a lot more coming out as a lot more people start businesses because they're scared to lose their job with AI. Number 5 is branding and a content creator. So a good example of this is Viral Coach. So they have, let's look here. Let's see, Content Coach. If you guys don't know Viral Coach, you might have seen some of his ads where he says, we'll get you 1 million views or you don't pay. So pretty common in the space. But there's a lot of people helping other people learn how to grow on social media, especially organically, since that's the best way to convert the traffic into clients, into high paying clients. So definitely looking into this niche. And you can see here, we have lots and lots of coaches. And so same thing, running through meta ads, seeing who's posting online and building it up from there. Now, the last one, and I think this is one that you probably haven't heard before, and it's one that honestly I underrated. It was very, put aside. I didn't really think too much of it, but it's becoming bigger and bigger as time goes on. And it is dating coach offers. Okay. So teaching people how to be successful into getting into a long-term relationship. So not just like a quick one-liner to pick up a girl, but actually like have a successful relationship. Now, that also goes into a separate area that is also helping couples that are already married becoming more of a successful couple together, more integrating into a marriage that they can build a life they want. And so it kind of is more broad. So it's dating offer as well as just the dating and marriage niche is absolutely exploding. Another one that I've seen a lot of is actually helping entrepreneurs that are super busy. They don't have a lot of connections to these girls because they're always working. Pair them up with great females and women that are ready to marry and ready to roll, have kids, all that stuff. Okay. So these are the 6 industries that I think you absolutely need to know going into 2026 to actually make a few hundred grand a year. Now, I'm not saying that if it's not on this list, that it's not a good industry. Like I didn't name a few. There's real estate, Airbnb. Those are still crushing it. We have other offers in the business world as well that are crushing it as well. But these are my top 6. These are the offers that I'm seeing the most. day-to-day pop up as jobs. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd mean a lot. And if you're ready to actually take the leap and get into the high ticket space for a coaching offer or one of these 6 niches that I talked about, click the link down below, apply to join my team, or we'll train and place you within 60 days. But with that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.